Let's talk about the real foundation of your business. And I don't just mean your team or your product. I'm talking about the entire network you rely on, and, especially your suppliers. Today we're going to dive into a really powerful new way to build those relationships, how to transform them from just a transaction into your greatest competitive advantage.
So let's start with a really simple question. Which side of this screen feels more like your company right now? On the left, are your suppliers just another cost to squeeze down as low as possible? Or on the right, are they a true extension of your team, totally essential to your success? Making that leap from the left column to the right is probably the single biggest move you can make to build a stronger, more resilient business.
For decades, this old way of thinking has pretty much run the show. You know the one, this idea that for you to win, your supplier has to lose just a little bit. But as we're about to see, this whole approach isn't just outdated, it is incredibly risky. It's like building your company on a foundation of sand. Yeah? This zero-sum game basically forces you into a fight. You might think you're winning when you haggle over every single cent, but here's the fatal flaw in that logic. Any failure on their side, a missed shipment, a quality problem, that instantly becomes your failure. Your win on the price tag can turn into a catastrophic loss in the real world. So what's the alternative? Well, it's a complete paradigm shift. It's all about getting away from chasing the lowest price and instead focusing on securing the highest possible value. And maybe even more important, reliability. This is where we stop thinking like a haggler and start thinking like a true strategist. At the heart of this whole shift is an idea called total cost of ownership. I mean, think about it. That super cheap component isn't so cheap when it fails and you have to do a massive product recall, is it? TCO makes you look at the whole picture, the reliability, the quality, the support, all of it. It's really the difference between being penny-wise and pound-foolish. Okay, so how do you actually build this kind of partnership? It's not about trust falls and team-building exercises. It's about taking real, concrete actions. First, share your plans. Seriously, giving a supplier a 6 to 12-month forecast lets them plan, optimize, and ultimately give you a better price. Second, develop with them. Help them get more efficient, maybe by using methods like kaizen for continuous improvement, and guess what? You get a better product. And third, offer them some stability. A long-term deal is way more powerful than just a one-time high payment. But, of course, this whole partnership model only works if you pick the right partners in the first place. And this isn't about a gut feeling or who has the slickest sales pitch. If you want to build a strong architecture, you need a disciplined, systematic way to choose who you work with. The whole process kicks off with a rigorous audit before you even start talking about price. Pre-qualification is your first filter. Do they have the reputation, the experience? Then you dig into the technical audit. Can they actually deliver the quality you need? Not just one time, but consistently for the long haul. You need to know everything from their financial health to the condition of their machines. And listen, the work does not stop once the contract is signed. A real partnership needs ongoing management. Using something like a scorecard system keeps things objective. You track the key performance indicators that really matter: on-time delivery, defect rates, how fast they respond. This isn't about catching them making a mistake. It's about working together to maintain excellence. Okay, so a deep partnership is a powerful thing. But let's be honest, putting all of your eggs in one basket is never, ever a good idea. So the next layer of our architecture is all about building a safety net. It's about designing your business for resilience. Let me be perfectly clear about this. Having one exclusive supplier that you rely on for everything might feel simple and efficient, but it is a massive strategic vulnerability. One fire, one flood, one political crisis at their factory, and your entire operation could grind to a halt. So there's a brilliant, really practical strategy for dealing with this risk. It's called the 70-30 rule. You give the lion's share of your business, say 70%, to your main strategic partner. That keeps that relationship strong, but you always have an alternative supplier handling the other 30%. That's your plan B, always warmed up and ready to go. And you can build even more resilience on top of that. Sourcing from totally different geographic regions protects you from local disasters or shipping nightmares. And crucially, having that alternative supplier also creates some healthy competition. It keeps your main partner on their toes and helps keep their pricing fair. And finally, let's talk about the mortar that holds this entire structure together. It's something that often gets dismissed as soft stuff, but in reality, it is one of the most practical, hard-nosed tools you have, and that's your reputation. And this might be the most important takeaway of all. This is not about being preachy.
It's about smart business strategy. Treating your partners ethically isn't just the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do.
You know, the best way to think about it is like this. Your reputation for being an honest, fair partner, well, that's your insurance policy. You make small deposits into it every day, and it's there to protect you when a crisis hits.
When you build that reputation as a priority customer, the company that pays on time, that respects contracts, that actually listens to their partner's expertise, you get an incredible amount of leverage. Because when a crisis hits and parts are scarce, who do you think that supplier is going to help first? The haggler who squeezed them for every penny? Or the honest partner who always treated them with respect? You get to jump to the front of the line.
In the end, this is what the whole architecture is about. A true strategic leader builds bridges with their partners, not fences. When your suppliers feel like a valued part of your system, not just a number on a spreadsheet, they stop being just a vendor. They become a powerful, loyal, competitive advantage.
So after all this, it really comes down to one question. I want you to take a hard look at your own supplier relationships. Are they a potential point of failure, a liability just waiting to happen, or have you built an architecture that makes them your secret weapon? The choice is yours.